Good morning, students. So my voice is audible. Everyone, audible to everyone. So screen is visible. Okay, screen is visible. Okay. So yesterday class, we already discussed overall project planning each step, but yesterday we discussed each step. What are the different steps in step one? What are the different steps included in step two? And also discussed what are the different types of steps involved in step three. The first step one. Step one means identify project objectives. What are the different types of steps included in identify project objectives? In this, first one, identify objectives and measure of effectiveness. So here, how do we know if we have succeeded? Just revise the yesterday topic. Next, establish a project authority. In step one, 1.2, establish a project authority. So you have to choose who is the boss for that project. Next one, identify all the stakeholders in the project and their interest. So here, stakeholders are affected or involved in the project. So we have to identify them. Okay, this is one of the step in identify project objectives. Next one, modify objectives in the light of stakeholder analysis. So we need to do things to win stakeholders. Okay, to win stakeholders. So next one, establish methods of communication. See here. Next one, establish method of communication with all parties. How do we keep in contact with different types of stakeholders? For local or non-local or in our organization, how we communicate with them? Okay, for non-local, we are communicate through online, through mail or Zoom or Google Meet or some any other software we are using. We have to communicate with them. Okay, so for the step one, already explained. Our college is want to make a project on payroll of the faculty. So for they are the first they give responsibility to the other service companies, but they are not provide all the information about the faculty. So our college want to make the project uh, by themselves only within our college. Okay, so for this step one is so here we have to find the different clients and new systems. So here we have to two types of departments is there, financial department and personal office. Why we are go for financial department means all the information about the employee are available in financial department. How much basic salary he driven for every month. Next, present. Why we have to go personal office means provide how much working hours transist, how much work hours employee will work. All these type of information available in personal office. So here also in step 1 we have to conduct here vice president act as a vice president act as a client, and he is conducting meetings for communicate with the other persons. So for this meeting, including vice president and another person is project manager and some head of the offices and some personal people, all these are attended for this meeting. Why we are conducting this meeting means to communicate with them what are the drawbacks or what are the resources required, some other thing regarding our project. We have to communicate with all them about the project. So this is about identify project scope and objectives. Okay. Next one, establish project infrastructure. In this, I only repeat the yesterday class only. So because some of students might not be joined there, so waiting for them. So I am repeating the yesterday topic only. So establish project infrastructure. So in this first one, identify relationship between the project and strategy. So here, why did they want the project? Why they are interested in our project? So we have to establish the link between the strategic plan. Okay. Next one, identify installation standards and procedures. So here, what standards do we have to follow? For development purpose, what we have to do is any requirement needed to develop that project, or any regarding configurations, hardware, software configurations. So these types of things will come under step 2.2. Next, identify project team organization. How are the team members arranged in groups? Okay, we have to maintain team organization. How are the team members arranged in groups? Okay, team 1, team 2, team 3, team 2 for coding, team 2 for networking, and team 3 for documentation. We have to make the identify the different types of team in the organizations. What they have capability to work. F2, please remove the comment you write there before after your roll number. Don't do such type of things. Also, C4, remove your name after roll number. F2 also remove that matter after your roll number. Who is Pavan Yenno? Please write your roll number. Remove your name. Okay. Next, go to the step 3. Step 3. So analyze project characteristics. So here, distinguish the project as either objective based or product based. So in step 3, our project is related to object based or product based. So object based means in that project we have any result, that project comes under object based, or any product or deliver, that type of call it as a product based. Okay. For a product design which is ready for delivery, we call them as a product based. Object based Describe the result of the project. We call it as a object based. So next one, analyze other project characteristics. So here analyze other project characteristics. So why they need our project? So we have to analyze. So we have to also take care about okay, we have to take care about safety critical aspects. So safety critical aspects means, for example, when for rocket launch, we we send the rocket only in perfect time, not before, not after. We have to send the rocket in exact time only, not before starting of the time, not after starting of the time. We have to send the rocket in exact time only. Okay, that is the one of the example for analyze the other project characteristics. Next one, identify identify high level project risk. So here what are the risks, what could go wrong, or in operational point of view or in any technical point of view, what can we do to stop it? So if the risk occur, how we stop that risk? All these types of risk will check in step 3.3. So we have to identify the risk, check if risk occurs, then check effort will occur less. If the risk occur, you have to check the how much effort will occur. If the effort, if the risk continuously go on, we have to neglect that. Okay, we have to go for other activities. Next one, take into account user requirements concerning implementation. So here you have to follow standards to follow, some type of standards to follow. For user requirements, you have to follow some standards. Okay. Next one, select development methods and life cycle process. We have to choose some of the life cycle methods, waterfall model, or increments, or prototype. So we have to follow these types of activities. Okay. Now these are the methods of in life cycle: waterfall model, increments, and prototypes. Next one, review overall resource estimates. So in this, how these resources are working, we have to check how these resources are working, and also does all these resources increase the cost or decrease the cost. So we have to take action to increase or decrease the resources by review overall resource estimation. If needed, we have to increase the estimations. If not, we have to decrease the estimations. So we have to review overall resources in the project. Okay. So yesterday these three steps are covered. So I just repeat these three steps once again. So I repeated. Now I go to the step 4. So before going to the step 4, how these step 2 and step 3 involved in our example. Already I told you our college make a project of payroll for the faculty. So here step 2, step 3. So here in step 3 we have to choose our project is object based or project based. So here our project is payroll of the teacher. So this is a result based. So this is comes under object based because we get the results. Okay. So here of the self means not designed by the others. Okay. So not designed by the others, taking from existing ones. So our project is want to do by our college only. Don't give responsibility to the other service companies. So our college want to do the project with an organization. So they want to do only their existing systems. So here half the self means not designed by the others. Okay, not designed by the others. Only they have to here see here of the self. Not designed by the others, taking from existing systems that are those are available computers or available softwares in our organization only. We use those softwares and systems only. So this time these three topics comes under the example. Step 2, step 3 involves which type of object, which type of project is object based, project based, and only we are using equipments for in our existing systems only. Okay. So this is the example of step 2 and step 3. Now go for step 4. So in step 4, identify and describes project products. So identify project products and activities. Okay. So here identify project products and activities. First of all, we have to more detailed planning of individual activities. First, you have to plan in step 4 for individual activities. So helps ensure all activities we need to carry out are accounted for, or carry out are accounted for. So here two types of projects. Projects are deliverable or intermediate products. So here projects are delivered to the client or intermediate products used in the process of creating deliverables. Okay. So intermediate products means these are ongoing products. So products are delivered to the client. They are completed products. Intermediate products, these are undergoing products. Okay. So for clear understand, for the intermediate product and deliverable. So for this, so identifying all things the project is to create help us to ensure that all the activities we need to carry out or account for. For this, some of these projects will be handed over the client. So some of these projects are different types. Some of these products will be handed over to the client at the end of the project. So after completion of the project, we have to hand it to the client. These are called deliverables. After completed, we have hand out to the client. So some other products might not be in the financial configuration, but are needed a intermediate products. So used in the process of creating deliverables. So we have to create them for the deliverables. So these products will include a large number of technical products, including training material and operating instructions. So here also to do with the management quality of the project. Okay. So for example, we have to see the management project in our next flow chart. I will explain there. What is intermediate product? I will explain in our flow chart. Management product. Intermediate product means the project is not ready for deliverable. It is sent to progress of the current status. It will check for the current status. So I will explain in the flow chart. Don't worry. So here see step 1, identify and describe project products. So here we have to identify. So we have to identify in technical products. So in technical products means training material or operational instruction or for design documentation. So identify them. Next one, management products. In management products, we have to go for planning the documents for progress. So we have to planning the documents for progress. And also in 4.1 identify describe means we have to check quality. Okay, we have to check the quality of the documents. So we have to identify and describe project products. Must see the below flow chart. This is the related to project products. We have to identify, describe the project products. Okay, see here, project products are split into three parts: system products, module products, and management products. Okay, in system products, we have to split the system products into three types. So this flowchart we call it as product breakdown structure for system development task. So we call it as PBS. Okay, product. So we have to split the project products into some development system development tasks. So here system products are developed, split into three types: overall specification of the system, next integration test cases, and also tested integrated software. Here overall specification of the systems. Okay, here integration test cases mean here we include some of the combination of softwares we have to integrate in integrate test cases. After tested, we have to integrate the software. After combining different software, we have to integrate test cases. After tested integrated, then we have to give to the softwares. Okay, next one. So here integrated test cases means here quality and assurance team work in this integration test cases. They check the quality and assurance for that project, for that software. Okay. Next, here module products are split into two parts: module design documents. So here module design document, here which infrastructure we follow. That will discuss in module design structure. Then we have to again split module product into, then we have to split the module production module code. We have to write the code here. Here module design document, which infrastructure will follow, we have to decide in module design document, and module code we have to write the code. Okay, next one, in project management products. So in previous topic discussed already intermediate products. So intermediate products is nothing but the one of the example is management products. So here management project, here we have to give the progress report. Okay, so users you explain, you have to explain to the users the present status of your project. That is nothing but progress report. Present status of your project you have to give to the report for the users. Then they will check the current project. If any requirements or any updates, they give suggestion. Then we have to again modifying the project. Then we have to go for the managed project. Then we have to give also projects progress report for the users. So progress report is nothing but you have to explain the present status of the project. This project is not completed. We have to step by steps, means stage by stage we have to progress the report for the users. That is nothing but management products. Okay. Okay, everybody understand? So this flowchart we call them as project based structure, PBS. Remember PBS. They related to only 4.1 only. Okay. Next here we have to choose see here selection projects. Here selection project. Here selection project is selection products. It classified into 5 categories: volume figure, office layouts, user requirements, list of potential supplies, and invitation to tender. Okay, so volume figure. So here volume figure means how much volume you are required for that selection products, and different types of office layout, different type of layout you have to choose for that office. Okay, and user requirements. So user requirements are categories into 3 types. So here our project payroll is only used for the existing system description only. So for existing system description, we have to in user requirements we have to use only existing system description. In this user modifier requirements. So in existing system, if we use any existing system, we want to update or we communicate with the user. Okay, so user modifier requirement means, for example, we worked on the project, working on the project on payroll. So if the faculty in last month he continuously work, he is not applying for any leave in last month, so we have to give extra money to them. So without spend his extra time to our college. So this type of requirements are arranged in user modifier requirements. Okay. Next one, test example. After requirements, we have to test them. Next, selected products. Also, list of potential supplies. So, what are the potentials required for that? Means potential supplies comes under investigation to invitation to tender. Okay, this is called as a product breakdown structure. Next, go for 4.2 document generic flow, product flows. Okay. So see the flow chart here. So before this, so here, what are the products? Here products, the result of activity. So could be among for example physical thing. What is the project? What is the product for physical thing? Install PC is the product. For documentation, logical data structure is our product. For a person, trained user is our product. And a new version of an old product means that is nothing but update the software. So no project products that we have. So no project products are, I will explain no project products. For example, activities, training. Training is not a project product. And events means interviews completed. Those are not a project products. Also, resources and actors means software developers are not also project products. So what are project products? So products can be deliverable or intermediate. We call it as a project products. Now go for step 2, document generic product flow chart. So we call it as a PFD. PFD means product flow diagram. So here existing system description is there. So here already I told you existing system we are using our project. So user modifier requirements, if the faculty worked extra hours for our institution, we will pay extra money to them. So we are encouraging this type of activity. The faculty interested on doing his work. Okay. So that type of documents we are in you have to store in user modifier requirements. Next, we have to figure the volume. Then we send to the invitation to the tender. Okay. So here user modifier requirements are split into two types. Office layout, already I told you layout, different types of layouts used for the office, and also test the examples. So one of the example is he worked extra hour for our institute. We have to write that in a payroll list, then we have to test it. Okay. So here, list of potential suppliers. So this list of potential suppliers are list of potential suppliers are the comes under comes under the invitation to tender. So potential suppliers comes under to invitation to tender. So see this flow chart. This flow chart we call it as a product flow diagram, PFD. So PBS and PFD we discussed in 4.3. Okay. So everybody understand? Does everybody understand till now? Anybody has any doubt regarding 4.1 or 4.2? Any doubt? Just write a message in chat box. So I go to next topic 4.3. So 4.3. So 4.3 recognize product instances. See here 4.3 recognize product instances. So here the PBS and PFD. So here PBS and PFD means PBS means product breakdown structure and PFD means product flow diagram. Already I explained both the flow charts. So here PBS and PFD will probably have identified generic products. Example, software modules. So here it might be possible to identify specific instances. For example, module A in software module and split the into different modules, module A, module B. So, but in many cases, this will have to be left to later, more detailed on planning only. Okay, this is recognize the product instances. Now, see here diagram. So here ideal activity means for here already analyze existing system, then we have to obtain user requirements, generate test cases. If the faculty worked for extra hours, and plan office layouts. So calculate, then we send to the draft invitation to tender. Then this is draft invitation tender to invitation to tender. Then we send the draft to the invitation to tender. Okay. Also, we have to survey on potential suppliers, means suppliers for what are the requirements they needed. Also, we have to those requirements are we sent to invitation to tender. Issue invitation to tender. Server potential suppliers also we have to send to the issue invitation tender. Also, we have to analyze existing system and obtain user requirements. So we have to send issues invitation to tender. We also send the draft invitation to sender. Okay, so this is recording recognize product instances by existing systems and also the potential suppliers. Next one. So here software module means a module is a part of a program, and programs are composed of one or more independently developed modules that are not combined until the program linked. So once the program is completed, then only we combine the all the modules. Okay. Next step, step 4. ideal activity network. Here, identify the activities needed to create each product in the PFD. You have to identify the activities. More than one activity might be needed to create single product. Okay, here more than one activity might be needed to create single product. So this is recording produce ideal activity network. Next one, modify the ideal to take into account needed for stages and checkpoints. Okay, see here, modify the ideal to take into account needed for stages and checkpoints. See the diagram here. This is the checkpoints. So we have started design system. So here, see here we want to insert checkbox. So why we insert the checkpoint? So here design system is there. Design system is split into module A, module B, module C. Then each module is split into different code, code A, code B, code B, code C. Then after coding, we have to test the systems. Okay. So in between design and code, we have to insert the checkpoint. Why we have to insert the checkpoint? What is checkpoint? So checkpoint nothing but one activity to shift for the other activity. So here design module A is done. So checkpoint is ready for code A, module A. Then it transfers to test. If when one of the module is ready, then it go for the coding. So you have to put here checkpoint. Otherwise, one module A is completed only, then module B will check, and module B completed, then module C go for module C. So to overcome this, we have to put here checkpoint. Once activity is done, it shift to the other activity. Understand? B is done, it go for which is ready for the shift. Other activities, so go for A or go for C. So we have to use here checkpoint. Sorry, but we cannot insert checkpoint in between design A, B and C, because till now we cannot complete any activity. Here we have to design the split into design A, design B, design B, but we cannot complete any activity. So design system includes design A, design B, design C. So that's reason we cannot include here checkpoint. Okay, understand? In between these three, we have to put a checkpoint. Next slide. Estimate effort for each activity. See here, estimate effort for each activity. So in this first point, carry out bottom-up estimates. So here we have to estimate bottom-up. So how? Distinguish carefully between effort and elapsed time. How we estimate? So here distinguish carefully between effort and time. So how much time you spend and how much effort you spend for that time. Okay, all these activities comes under carry out bottom-up estimation. Okay, how much time you spend and how much effort you spend for that time. So you have to carry out bottom-up estimation about effort and time. Okay, next one, revise plan to create controllable activities. So you have to revise your plans once again. Why? Because how much effort you spend for that time, and think about for that time, and so you think about how to increase your effort to decrease the time, and which resources we have to increase. So these are the activities revised plan. Also, by increasing working hours, we have to decrease the time, or by increasing the bandwidth, we have to decrease the time, or by increasing our PCs, we have to decreasing our time. So all these comes and revised plan. Okay, we have to revise plan to decrease the time. Okay, next topic. Sixth one, identify activity risk. So understand before fifth point, revise plan. So in revise plan to create, we have to break up very long activities into a series of smaller ones. So if there is any long activity, we have to split them. For example, design plan is there, we have to split into 3 parts. For long activities, we have to into small one. So we have to bundle up very short activities. For small activities, we have to create checklist. If the activity is done, then go for other activities. We have to bundle up very short activities. Okay. Next, identify for activity risk. In step 6, first one, identify and quantity activity based risk. So here we have to identify the risk. Damage if risk, what is the damage if risk occurs? Measure its time and loss of money, and how much time you spend for that project, and how much money you spend for that risk. Damage is how much time you spend, and measure how much time we spend for that risk, and how much money we spend for that risk, for the damage. So next we have to go for likelihood if risk occurring. So if your risk continuously goes on, we have to neglect that activity. Next, go for 6.2, plan risk reduction and contingency measures where appropriate. Okay, so I already told, if the risk continuously goes on, we cannot be predicted with certainty, so we have to neglect that activity. Okay, the risk continuously goes, we neglect that. We go for other activity. So in this risk reduction, activity to stop risk occurring. You have to go for activity to stop risk occurring. You have to stop that risk. If the risk goes continuous, if you stop that risk, go for other activities. Next one, adjust overall plans and estimate to take account of the risk. So adjust overall plans. So already, according to the risk, we have to adjust our plan and estimate number of decrease the number of risk occurrence. For example, add new activities which reduce risk associated with other activities. So we have to add new activities to reduce the risk. For example, we have to training the employees, so to reduce the risk. Okay, we have to train them to reduce the risk, and also we have to give some of the information about the occurrence of the risks. So they have to modify that risk. For giving information, the trainers will modify those type of risk. Okay, this type of comes under the identify activity risk. Next, go for step 7. In step 7, allocate resources. So identify and allocate resources. So in this identify and allocate resources, the name itself indicate identify and allocate. Identify the resource and allocate resources means This identify allocate resources means that is number of pieces. That is not the case. Number of pieces are required. That is not the case. Here, allocate resources means how much cost required, how much time. What about the employees? What are the staff required? And what are the management? So all these are comes under allocate resources. Not the how much number of pieces are allocated, or that is not comes under allocate resources. Type of staff needed for each activity and what are the staff available for the project. All these are comes under identify and allocate resources. Okay, understand? Next one. So revise plans and estimate to take into account resource constraint. So here we have to revise plan and estimation. So for that, for example, staff not being available until a later date, we have to check before revise plan. And also we have to check for non-project activities. What we have to do when there is a non-project activity occur, what we have to go for that of non-project activities. So all these activities carries your software and types of software needed. So we have to revise plan estimation, we have to take for that. Okay. Last one for step 8, review or publicize plan. So here review quality aspects of the project plan. We have to, after completion of all the 7 steps, we have to go for the review. Review for the experts or users or stakeholders. Okay. So review quality aspects of the project plan. Then document plan, obtain agreement. So we have to document our project plan and ready for the agreement. Okay. Next go for step 9 and step 10. Well, step 9 is execute plan and step 10 is lower level of planning. So once the project is underway, plans will need to drawn up in great detail for each. Okay, so activity as it becomes due. Detail and lower level of planning of the latter stages will need to be delayed because more information will be available near the start of the stages only. So here project planning is an iterative process. As the time approaches for the project activities will to be carried out, they should be replanned in more details. So here project planning, before submission of the project, you have to check overall the project. If any modifier required, we have to replan that project and we have to modify that. Then only we have to submit the project in live. So these are the steps involved, different steps for project planning. So everybody understand the different types of steps involved in project planning. Total 10 steps. Different. Each step is different types of steps include in that. Each step 1 includes some different types of steps. Step 2. So overall steps are explained with an example. Anybody has any doubt? Does anybody has any doubt regarding project planning? Write a message in the chat box. So tomorrow we will discuss about project scope. This is the overall about project planning. Okay. So this flow chart is very important. You have to remember the flow chart. And step 4 also you have to remember these 3 flow charts 4 flowcharts also. One is project breakdown structure is very important. Then project flow diagram, product flow diagram, product breakdown structure and product flow diagrams are very important. They are interlinked with step 4.5. Okay. So anybody has any doubt regarding project planning? Write a message in chat box. Who is Jay Prakash Babu? Change your name, write your roll number there. Okay. Real Jay Prakash Babu. Please remove your name and write your roll number there. Who is I to remove your HJ after your roll number? Okay. Who is C2? Please remove PH after your roll number. Don't write anything. Who is C4? Remove your name after your roll number. All of you write your roll number only. Don't write names or any unused words after your roll number. Okay, today I am ending the session. Tomorrow we will meet. Any queries? Please write a message in chat box. Today absentees are C4, D0, D5, G3, H3, H4. Okay, thank you.